What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Twisted Ignition. I'm Mike, and you're in for another fun-filled episode of Solo Shenanigans. So, can't wait to show you what I'm about to work on, so stay tuned and let's do it. Alright guys, well we're outside now, so again I apologize about the background noise. I live right next to a road, it's windy, it's cold. I had to break out the old LLY hoodie again, so you know what time of year that means it is, if that makes sense. Anyway, I have a 2005 Duramax crew cab short bed frame. I picked up the frame, the rear axle, and the front diff for pretty inexpensive. This truck actually was pretty beaten up. Long story short, it was in an accident and the frame was bent. Well, what then happened was the insurance company said, well, we'll replace the frame. So this frame is actually only relatively 12 years old. The rest of the truck was rotted and was parted out. It was kind of one of those impulse buys. I couldn't really pass it down. Still has numbers on the frame, sticker. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. It's very clean, and I want to get it in the garage and start taking it apart, and we're gonna paint it, make it look nice, and then we'll go from there. We have my engine hoist strapped down in the back claws, which, mind you, putting up in here by yourself, get a friend, it's not that easy. We have a bumper in the hitch in case the frame rolls forward and bumps into my truck. So we're gonna see if this old girl can hold everything up. And the objective is gonna be to back up to the frame, hook it up to lift up the front end, and then pull it forward off my trailer and then slowly back it into the garage. Sounds simple, right? Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Let me show you what I have hooked up to the frame to also prevent damage. On the frame, I have a couple straps tied up around a tire. Keep the kind of a rubber bump stop, I guess, a really big one. So in case the frame does decide to roll forward a little bit, it'll bump into the tire, which should bump into that bumper I have in my trailer hitch, which should prevent any damage. So I guess without further ado, we're gonna unstrap this thing from the trailer, and then I guess we're gonna see if we can make redneck ingenuity work at its finest here. Not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. Well, it's off the ground, but this is super sketchy, so we're gonna find out if it works. Well, it's off the trailer. Nothing fell down except this tire, but it's doing its job at least. So it's not even touching the bumper. Look at that. Now it's just a question of backing it in the driveway, up the driveway I should say, into the garage. So that's going to be our next fun-filled project. But step one of a truck off trailer is complete. I think it's in. I think it's good enough. Look at that. You want precision? I barely even touched the tripod. Didn't even hit it. It's a beautiful thing. Now what we're going to do is get some jack stands set up in the front. We'll lower this down and we'll undo all this redneckism. Well, it's not hooked up. It's in the garage, relatively straight. It's on the jack stands in the front, a little high, but I'm not too terribly worried. I think I'm gonna AKA borrow slash retrieve slash take my big 12 tons back. Rick, thank you. So here we are. This frame originally came with a 4-inch lift, hence the extra stuff, but half of it's missing, unfortunately. If this lift was entirely complete, I would have more than likely put it on my Duramax, considering it's the same style frame. Now for all the GM gurus out there, I have a question. On my frames, on every truck I have, my 05 crew cab, my 04 crew cab, my regular cab, none of them have these. And those are factory holes. So I am confused as to why this frame has that, unless it's a newer style frame like the 08s. Just, you know, I think GM utilized the same frame for a while. But the frame is in, it's intact, it's pretty solid. So I think now's the time where we get down and we start tearing it apart and getting it cleaned up. All right, so now that we have the frame in here, it's a little quieter, I have the doors shut. We're gonna start tearing this thing apart. So we're gonna work from the front all the way to the back. What I'd like to do first is remove the steering box, the steering linkage, the stabilizer in the front here, all the suspension up front. There's only so much I can do right now until I get those other jack stands, but we're gonna strip this thing down as much as possible. Some of these parts I am gonna save for either this vehicle, depending on what I decide to do with it, or I'm going to use them for my current Duramax or my regular cab truck, the Claws. So let's get started. Oh, and Truckmaster, if you're watching this, what do you think? I remember you did a lot of teardowns on Duramaxes. Please let me know how you feel about this one. BFH has been acquired. Let's knock this out. Well, I have been beating on this thing for the last half hour, so we're gonna have to resort to one of these. This is like a tie rod puller slash Pitman arm puller. So we're gonna see if we can get this thing in there and see if we can get this bolt pushed through, because it don't want to let go. So we're gonna see if we can get this thing to work. There we go. But as you can see, we got it popped up. Now we're gonna move it over and do the driver's side, and then the center link will be ready to come out. Unfortunately, the tool would not fit over that, so I had to once again go crazy and beat it off, but success. Let's get this center link out. And then this will just wiggle right out, just like that. Steering box is out with some lines still attached. Now we're gonna work on dropping the sway bar. Well, I guess we're cutting it. There we are. Next we're going to take out this brake hose bracket. Keeps the brake hose from moving around. Do this. On the pile. Hey! All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get this lower A-arm off here. And I just destroyed the bolt. Onto the pile of dread you go. Now, I think I want to take this cross member out first, this torsion bar. Onto the pile. And there you have it. Heat for the win. We're going to work on taking out this cross member here. That's the transmission cross member. Now we can lower our cross member. Add that to the pile of success. So I think the next thing I'm going to tackle is the center section, the front diff. Can you hold that, please? Thank you.
It's wiggling.
There it is.
It's okay now.
Oh, thank you. That's really heavy. Yeah, so next, we're gonna take off this cross member, I think. This one, depending on if bolts cooperate. Well guys, that's going to be it for this video. There was a lot of work to do on that frame. A lot of stuff to come off, and to think it wasn't even complete. But we're going to get that thing all cleaned up. We're going to get it all needle scaled, wire wheeled, the things we do a lot on this channel. We're going to make it nice. But I have a question. If you're still watching this video, I want to know what I should use. Rust-Oleum paint with a brush, Rust-Oleum paint with a spray can. That was for you, Mickey. Should I use POR 15? What should I use? I want to hear your comments down below. I want to read what you guys have to say, what you think. I don't even know if I'm keeping this frame. I don't know if I'm going to just keep it to have, because I love collecting parts, especially for these trucks. Should I try to sell it? Should I build a truck out of it? I don't know. You tell me. I'd love to know. Well, on the next time we work on this frame, we're going to get it all down nitty gritty, clean it up, wire wheel, needle scale, and then it'll be time for paint. So hopefully by then, I'll have an answer, and you guys tell me what you would use. This has been Twisted Ignition and another solo shenanigans. I'm Mike, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.